Uh, I'll take things that didn't happen for 1,000. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, Bobby. So this NFL player said, "I don't want to be here." Ooh, that's a tough one. Uh, what is George Pickens? Yeah, that's correct. You're right, Bobby. The NFL player didn't say that. That falls under the category of things that didn't happen. There you go. Ah, that's right, because the media lies, and he's a liar. I should have known that. Yeah, that's correct, Bobby. You're right. Things that didn't happen. George Pickens didn't say, "I don't want to be here." You win, mate. You win. Steelers Nation Australia, where there is zero clickbait here. What you get is what I put out. That's it. The honest truth. And I get so mad at these other dudes on YouTube trying to be what they are, but they're full of nothing. So I hope you guys like my acting. It was kind of fun doing that. It was kind of a little bit of something different, you know. But I was pretty much saying things that didn't happen for 1,000. Thanks, John. And that was the reporting about George Pickens and YouTube videos that say this: "I don't want to be here," quote marks. Does that mean Pickens said that? He didn't say that. This whole thing is overblown, man. It's overblown completely. Completely. All George Pickens said, GP number 14, second year receiver. Now he's getting compared to AB. All he said on the internet, on an Instagram post, was "free me." Now we can discuss at this point if that was a good thing or a bad thing. But to turn this into videos for views, likes, and shares and to report false news, you call yourself Steelers Report, but all you do is report false news and make up false narratives, man. You're playing the game the wrong way. You're playing the game the absolute wrong way. I don't want to be here. And when you said that on your video, you're also titled it, "George Pickens exposes he wants out of Pittsburgh immediately," with a cryptic post. No, he doesn't. George Pickens never said he wants to leave Pittsburgh. Stop making the BS rumors up. It's redonkulous. It is absolutely ridiculous, man. Anyways, let's move on, because guys like this on YouTube who call themselves a YouTuber or a Steelers, fan, anything like that, they're just making the joke up at this point. I don't want to be here. George Pickens never said that. Ever. He never said that. What he did say was, "free me," and then, on Instagram. So let's start there. George Pickens probably shouldn't have done that. Let's be honest. He shouldn't be on the social media, even giving the national media, the NFL, the Pittsburgh guys, the lame YouTubers out there like Report doing those things. And you can't face this, man. You can't. I want to hear your response. I would love to hear your response from this and show your face, because you never do. You're a rubbish character. All you do is lie to your audience, and then I've got to clean up your mess. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So you can't be making this stuff up, man. This is my team, right? This is Steeler Nation. Stop making stuff up about our team where we got to chop down the narrative. There's already enough negative press in the world, let alone on our fan base now and on the Steelers. And now it's going to be on George Pickens because he wrote 2 letters called "free me." It's an absolute joke, man. It's a joke that you got to make this kind of stuff up. Go through all 1,000 of my videos. I guarantee you I haven't made anything up. Probably the worst thing I ever did was have an idea about Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers. I thought. But people out there want to make stuff up, and then all the fan base jumps into it. They start getting behind George Pickens being a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He made a mistake. He made a social media error mistake. And blokes like you out there keep pushing this stuff. I don't want to be here. He never said that. In the comments there, people saying, well, he felt like that. It doesn't matter what he said. It's what he felt like. It's his actions speak louder than words. No, they don't. In this instance, no, they don't. Because George Pickens hasn't done anything that bad where he's walking away from the team. The people are saying, well, he didn't celebrate with Jonte. Who cares? Maybe he was tired. Maybe he was frustrated. You can't tell me in your job or in your life, in your sporting career, whatever you guys have done in Steeler Nation, that you at every time you've seen someone be successful at their job, you've cheered them on. Maybe, Becky at work gets a promotion and you've been working really hard for 4 or 5 years, and good old Becky walks in the door and she gets a promotion in 2 weeks or 2 years. You can't tell me that deep down inside you're like, oh, I don't feel like celebrating with her. Absolute nonsense. Social media, the media is turning into a really, really terrible place where you can't even cheer and support your team. And all it is about fear-based, mongering, narrative-based driven crap. Because when you're at work like that and Becky comes over and Becky's been there for 2 years and you've been busting your balls for 6, 7 years and she takes your job and you know you can do better, you're going to be frustrated. So how do you think George Pickens feels when he's playing the game and he wants the football? He knows he's a good a receiver out there. He wants to go and get every ball he can to help his team win. Let him be frustrated. It's not that bad. It honestly isn't that bad. The worst thing to come out of this is guys like this on YouTube, Steelers False Report, saying, I don't want to be here, who makes up false rumors all the time. That then keeps his narrative going. If you don't want the narrative, don't click it. Find out the information. Before you see the video, don't click it. Go research on Google first. Don't feed the narrative that is this media on YouTube. If you see some BS articles or BS videos from me, don't click it. Stop feeding the narrative. It's ridiculous. Let's end on this. Hines Ward had something to say about those. So Hines Ward talked about George Pickens, right? He says here, sometimes can't get caught up in all the drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that it's all about you, because football is a total team aspect. One person can't win a Super Bowl by themselves. It takes a collective group of guys to come together to be unselfish. I don't have a problem with that. But when you start posting tweets and giving media the opportunity to bring it up, that's the point. That's the big point. George Pickens, if he's ever going to learn from this mistake, is don't give the media or losers on YouTube like this bloke a chance to feed into the narrative and make it worse. Just don't allow them to make it worse. So when Hines says that, he says, don't give the media opportunity to bring it up. That can be a distraction to most teams. In Pittsburgh, being so young, you've got to be mindful, be careful, because you can't make it all about George Pickens. You've got to make it about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the reason why we have 6 Lombardies in the building, it wasn't about one player. I guarantee you that. So if anything that George Pickens can learn from this mistake or from this opportunity by being on the internet, by being on social media, is possibly don't post free me in the beginning. You can post whatever you want to. You have creative control. We all have creative control. Anyone who disputes my argument right now, feel free. Go make a video, tag me in it, tell me about it. I'll watch it. Okay? Talking to you, report, because you won't do it. Unbelievable. I don't want to be here. That's where it all comes from. Now the narrative on the internet is that George Pickens is a bad guy because he's an absolute one of the worst human beings out there, and that's going to go for the next week until we go and see him catch footballs. Everybody needs to learn from this mistake, and like even George, even ourselves. And you know what? Say to ourselves, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep grabbing the clickbait articles. We can't do any of that. It's not George. George is not the problem here. It's way how the problem was represented. That's what it is. George Pickens did something a little bit silly, and now the media and social media reacted to it and made it even worse. I'm done with it. So things that didn't happen for 1,000 was this. I don't want to be here.